Shalom, y'all, Bashim al Shabrakatah, y'all Shamar Atham Bashim al Shah. To all the brothers and sisters out there, this is Priest and Officer 500 Matham out of I.S.U.P.K. Store out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. What we've been doing since 1969 was teaching the truth about the Bible, that blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the real Israelites of the Bible, and that we're that black people are the real Jews of the Bible, you know what I'm saying, and that we're gonna get our kingdom back. You know what I mean? As long as we keep the laws, statutes, and commandments of God. You understand? We're going to keep teaching this truth and pushing it forward until he come back and give us and free us out of this captivity. All right. So, yeah, man, it's the brotherhood class, man. Shout out to everybody tuning in. So, first scripture I want to grab, right? I want to grab is, I'm going to start off with Romans 13:11. You know what I mean? Everything that's going on in the world today is you know what I mean, is crazy. I seen Elon Musk, he put out an email to all the federal workers out there that you know, if they don't respond to his email saying what they've been doing for the past 5 days, you know what I mean, he'll take it as a resignation. So it's like, you know, this world is like kind of going left right now. It's going left. And we've seen it happen right before our eyes. We've seen it happen right before our eyes. And that being said, I want to grab this scripture and we read it out real quick. It's Romans 13:11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. Now, right now is the time to wake out of sleep. The time right now is to wake out of sleep because everybody, you know what I mean, is sleeping right now. Everybody, you know what I mean, is into our own thing. We're into things that don't even matter as far as like the black community is concerned. We're concerned with everything that doesn't matter. Right now, the time is now to wake out of sleep. You know what I mean? Like I was just saying, Elon Musk and everything that's going on with him, he's kind of going to have a helping hand and to help destroy America for what is, you know what I mean, destroy America for what it is, you know what I mean? Like America is not going to be recognized as has this same reputation, if you will, because of Elon Musk and what he's doing. You know what I mean? And I want to read some more. I want to finish this up and I'll jump somewhere else. That now it is high time to awake out of sleep. Right now, it is the time to wake out of sleep. It is not the time to just relax and think that you're going to be all right in these upcoming times. You know what I mean? Right now is the time to wake out of sleep. Why? Because, you know what I mean, everything that's going on in the world today, you can get caught up in it. You know what I mean? It's been 87 planes that's crashed out the sky, that flew out the sky. You know what I'm saying? This year so far, and it's only February. It's only February. You know what I mean? Like we got a lot more to come, and it's a lot more plagues that's gonna come. It's a lot more civil unrest that's gonna come. What are we gonna do when it's that time? When it's too late? When it's damn near too late? What are you gonna do? Who are you gonna call on? What's the game plan? And you don't have the game plan. We can't go off our own knowledge. We have to go off of what the Bible says. And right now it says in Romans 13:11 that it says, and that knowing the time, that it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. Christ will come back any moment, man. Our salvation is around the corner. We see all the hell that's going on in America today. You know what I'm saying? And it's not the time now to just be BSing about coming into the truth. It's not the time now to be pussyfooting around about coming into the truth. So lucky for my language. But we got to realize now is the time. It's not tomorrow. It's not next week. It's not next year. It's not when you get yourself together. It's not any of that. Now is the time. That's what we have to understand. And what Elon Musk is doing, man, like we got to understand that's You know what I mean? That's insane that he's doing what he's doing. Like America and him and Donald Trump, they don't know what they're doing right now. They are putting a plan together basically to destroy this country. And it's all to why. It's a good thing because, you know what I mean, blacks and Hispanics and Native American Indians, we need a break. You know what I mean? We need a damn break from this oppression that we've been under Donald Trump. Under his leadership, all we've been getting ever since he got, put in office was our babies deported, our Salaki. All you've been getting is our families being split up, our fathers being deported, our cousins, brothers, aunties, and nieces, cousins, nephew, whatever have you. You know what I'm saying? Our sons, our babies being deported. You know what I mean? And our young ones, our babies chained up in cages. That's what we've been getting, and that's something we need a break from because Donald Trump, man, he came into office, and now that's all we're seeing. All we are seeing right now is us catching all the hell, and we're not getting no break from it. That's why what Donald Trump is doing, man, it's kind of heavy, and we're gonna see down the line how destructive he is by his own will, how destructive it's going to be towards America. You understand? I'm gonna get a scripture real fast. You know what I mean? We see already the planes falling out the sky, destroying everything. I saw the one in Philly. That was a crazy one. You know what I mean? Destroying all the infrastructure over there. All right. So y'all bear with me while I try to get this scripture. Right. So let me see. All right. All right. So I'm gonna read this real quick. Okay. Salaki. All right. It's the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse. Let me see. 24. Verse 24. And this is the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that the kingdom cannot stand. Now, if a kingdom is coming up against his own kingdom, you got people in this office or this department of the country of America coming up against another office in America. You know what I'm saying? They fighting each other. And then you got the people on the lower level on the bottom, like the civilians and the people that doesn't really like the lower tier oppressors and everybody else, all the other nations that's here on the bottom. If all factions of the equation is fighting against each other, is fighting against its own body, then it cannot stand. That's what Christ is saying right here. Like a kingdom that's fighting against itself could never stand. It can never stand. It can never stay erected, man. All it's going to see is total destruction because that's just how it go. America gonna fight against itself. It's gonna be civil unrest here in America, civil war, and everything like that. And once that happens, this country is gonna fall because America. It makes sense. It doesn't so I could say America. If America fights against itself, it could never just be in unison with everything else that's going on to make it thrive. If other nations here, or not even other nations, there's other oppressors on the bottom of societies fighting against the middle. You know what I'm saying? Shalom, y'all, Shamar, I thought about Shemal Shah, to the sister in the chat tuning in. But if lower tier oppressors are fighting against the higher ups in America, there is going to cause a falling out. You know, America can't stand. That's what Christ's saying right here. I'm going to read it again. It's the book of Mark, chapter 3, verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. Verse 25. And if a kingdom, Sluggy, and if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. You know what I mean? You cannot, this house can't stand if everybody in the house is fighting against each other. You know what I mean? This country is going to fall. White people are going to, oppressors are going to fight against each other, and this country is going to fall. And I see with Elon Musk, he's trying to get all the federal employees fired. All the federal employees trying to get them to resign and everything like that. That's the start of, Satan casting out Satan. You understand? And that's going to better be Tawaf for us as the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You understand? But then, even then, when that happens, they'll somehow turn around and blame it on us. So it's like we always catching something behind their foolish actions. You understand? So I'm gonna read on. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but half and end. That's basically what I was breaking down just now. If an oppressor is fighting against himself, which he's doing right now, and everything he has set up, and Donald Trump got set up and put in action, give it some time. America is going to fall just right before our eyes, man. You understand? So what we need to be doing during this time is coming together. What we need to be doing during this time is, coming back to our identity, our culture, understanding who we truly are. Because what we've been learning for 400 years in America is who the oppressor wants us to think who we are. We've been learning throughout his how can I say his unscholarly textbooks in school. You understand? We've been looking in his pseudo scholarly works in our textbooks, growing up in elementary school, growing up in middle school, growing up in high school. We've been looking at his pseudo research, his pseudo scholarly works and everything like that, because he's lying on everything on our history. And if he's not lying, he's going to bring up he's going to bring up only slavery. He's only going to bring up slavery, and that's it. That our history starts, our origin as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians starts as us being put into slavery, put in the transatlantic slave trade. And that our history doesn't start there. What he doesn't want us to know is that we are the real Israelites of the Bible. What he doesn't want us to know is that we're God's chosen people. What he also doesn't want us to know is that he is the devil the Bible speaks of. He's the devil the Bible speaks of. And why does he want us to hide? Why does he want that hidden from us? Why does he want that fact hidden from the Black and Hispanic community? He also hides that Blacks and Hispanics are one people, that we are the same people, and that we have one God, and we spoke one language before we were conquered. You understand? And it wasn't English. And it wasn't Spanish. It wasn't Portuguese. It wasn't any of those languages. It was the fact that we spoke Hebrew and we were Israelites. He had it hidden from us. He hides it, and it's in all the major colleges and major universities, all the way in the basement where our history is at. Where our history is all the way hidden. You know what I'm saying? And they do not want us to find out who we truly are. Because once we find out who we are, that means it's the beginning of the end for the white power that's resurrected here in America today, coming from the Roman Empire, before that the Greeks, before that Babylonian empires, and before that the Egyptian empire. You understand? This thing is not it's not an old oppression. America gets their tactics from ancient Egypt, and really, you know what I'm saying, before that is, like I was just saying, Rome. You know what I mean? And then Rome gets it all the way coming down from ancient Egypt. This is not an old tactic. This is not old tactics what the oppressor uses today. Well, you know what I'm saying? Like the same thing I'm saying right now, is basically what they were doing to us in ancient Egypt. In ancient Egypt, they had we had Joseph. He was up in there for a minute, and he was basically second to Pharaoh. He was second to Pharaoh, but he was like looked at as wise in the eyes of Pharaoh because of his visions that he had and what the Most High was showing him in the visions, and that he was saving Egypt at the moment from famine and pestilences and everything like that. So when he came back, so like when he came through and he was helping Egypt out and everything like that, helping Pharaoh out, giving him the mysteries behind what the Most High was showing him. You know what I'm saying? He then got us to come into the land. You know what I mean? I think we was like 70 deep as a nation. As Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we came in there as a whole 70 deep. And you know what I'm saying? Joseph ended up passing away. Then Pharaoh, not to be too long with it, but I want to just go over it a little bit. But then Pharaoh, you know what I mean? He ended up passing and ended up being the new Pharaoh that didn't know Jacob. I mean, it's like that didn't know Joseph. He didn't know Joseph, and he didn't have a rapport with Joseph, and he hated our people. He hated Israel. He hated the children of Israel. And so he was like, man, let's he put a major council, he put a big council in place, right? An important council amongst all the Egyptians. You know what I'm saying? Not all of them, but you know what I mean, for the cabinet of the Egyptian empire back then, ancient Egyptian empire. And they sought to, you know, come together and figure out what they're going to do with us. And Pharaoh's like, man, listen, we got to deal wisely with these people. In fact, I'm going to read it real quick. Y'all can meet me at Exodus 1. I might start at verse. Let me see. I'll start at verse 1. All right. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 1, verse 1. Now these are the names of the children of Israel, which came into Egypt, every man in his house and his household with Jacob. So Jacob is the progenitor of the Israelites. He then got his name changed to Israel after he won in that battle with an angel in his vision. All right. And he then was given the name Israel, which means Yasharallah in the Hebrew, which also means translation, which means son of the power, sons of the power. All right. Now I'm gonna read verse 2. And it's about to run down to you all the sons of Israel. All right. Verse 2, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, and Benjamin, Dan and Naphtali, Gad and Asher. Verse 5, and all of the souls that came out of the loins of Jacob were 70 souls, for Joseph was in Egypt already. Verse 5. So the same right there, what I was saying earlier, like 70 of us came into Egypt, all right? And I'm gonna read on. Verse 6, and Joseph died. So Joseph died, he passed, like I was saying earlier, and all his brethren in all that generation. Verse 7, and the children of Israel were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied and waxed exceeding mighty, and the land was filled with them. So this is saying how we were growing strong and mighty in the land of Egypt. In the land of Egypt, we grown so strong, man. They ended up looking at us like, man, they might take us over, or they might go ahead and possibly join our enemies in a battle against us in the future, potentially. You understand? This is the things that were going into the minds of the Egyptians at the time, mainly Pharaoh. Soon, and then he began to soon give that reasoning to his people in the council. I'm gonna read on to verse 7. I'll read verse 8. Now there arose up a new king over Egypt, Now it became a new pharaoh in the spot of the old pharaoh that had a rapport with Jacob. All right. And that's what it says right there, verse 8. I'm gonna read verse 8 again. Now there arose a new king over Egypt, which knew not Joseph. Now this one, like I just said, he didn't know Joseph. He didn't have a rapport with him and everything like that. I'm gonna read verse 9. And he said unto his people, behold, the people of the children of Israel are more and mightier than we. Now, this is him talking to his people. He's talking to all his Egyptian colleagues and everything like that. He's saying, listen, man. He's saying, listen, these people right here, the children of Israel, are more and stronger than we are. They're stronger than us. So what that means is, like, we gotta do something about them. We can't just let them grow the way they're growing. They're gonna end up overtaking us maybe, or joining our enemies one day. You understand? I'm gonna read some more. Verse 10. Come on, let us deal wisely with them. Lest they multiply, and it come to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them up out the land. Like this is the thought process of the ancient Egypts. The ancient Egyptians. The ancient Egyptians, man, they looking at us like, man, listen, all right. And this is so America too. America looks at us the same way. This is why I was just saying, like probably 10 minutes ago, America is Egypt. America is Egypt. America goes after. That's where the masonry come from. That's where the masonry get what they get from. You know what I mean? They worship the pyramid with the eye in between, you know, the eye of Horus and all that. That all comes from ancient Egyptian worship. You understand? Like that's where that comes from. America is Egypt. Egypt is America. I'm gonna read on. I'm gonna read from the top again. Come on, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply. Now they saying, man, let us deal wisely with these people. Let's deal wisely with them. Why? Because we will end up being better than them, stronger than them. Moses was already like showing to be better than them anyway, and he was in their ranks. Moses was in their empire. He grown up in the house with Pharaoh, with his daughter. You know what I mean? And his daughter took care of Moses like her own son. You understand? And Moses was like, you know, he was good at damn near everything, man. He was well educated. He fought in wars for them and won them wars as well. And this is like they know this. They know that, man, if we let them be, they're gonna multiply and get big and bigger and bigger and bigger, and they're gonna outgrow us and they're gonna be better. I'm gonna read on. And it came to pass that when there falleth out any war, they join also unto our enemies and fight against us, and so get them about the land. They wanted us about the land. They didn't want anything to do with us. You understand? Because they see our potential. And we was going over it last night. Commander during YAHANNA shouts to him. You know what I mean? He was going over last night how, and General Muhammad, how these heathen, these oppressors today, they see more potential in us than we do, because we're such slaves today. We're such slaves and slave minded and so destroyed and grinded all the way down in the powder here in America. We don't see that we're God's chosen people. We don't understand that we have such the blood that's within our veins is the same blood that Christ has in his veins right now. We don't understand that that the greatest man that ever walked the face of this earth comes from our family, comes from one of the 12 tribes of Israel. Now, we don't understand that because we're slaves. Now, the oppressor, he sees so much potential within us. He sees that we are like if we get an inch, they see like, man, no, they're gonna rule in 10 years in a couple of decades from now, they're going to rule over everything. They're going to have all the money. They're going to have their own things set up, and they're not going to need us anymore. So that's how they looked at us here in ancient Egypt as well. You understand? They see more in us than we do ourselves, and that's sad. You understand? I'm gonna read on to verse 11. Therefore, they did set over them taskmasters to afflict them with their burdens. Taskmasters. Now, what is the taskmasters talking about? The taskmasters is basically, some of us, our own people put over us. Like how we got like black police in every police department over here in America, right? That's trying to look over and oversee the every hood that they in, right? So we'll have black cops doing worse to us, to their own, than the oppressors sometimes, just because they trying to appease their oppressor that's over them, or their supervisor that's over them that's an oppressor. You understand? Like, that's what's going on. That's the taskmaster right there. So that just like today, where we have like, black cops over us and they harming us and everything like that, and afflicting us with all these different things and burdens and everything like that. They had the same thing right there in the past in ancient Egypt. There's nothing different. All right, I'm gonna read some more. So they afflicted us with burdens, right? I'm gonna read in the middle of verse 11. And they built for Pharaoh treasure cities, Pithom and Ramses. Now, we built these treasure cities for Pharaoh, man. We built all these treasure cities. We built the pyramids. We built all these things. If you take a look at the tribe of Issachar and the Mexicans, right? They built them Aztec pyramids. They built them pyramids, right? But what's so far-fetched for you FBA Negroes, right? That say that try to detach us from the other tribes, man. Try to detach us from the tribe of Issachar, try to detach us from the tribe of Ephraim and everything like that. You understand? They're just as much as black as we are. They experienced the slavery that we experienced. They experienced it way earlier than we experienced it. You know what I mean? And they have every right, to be a part of this nation than you do. You know what I'm saying? We are all one family, all the 12 tribes, you understand? And they built the Mexican brothers and sisters, they built the Aztec pyramids, right? The Mexican brothers, they built the Aztec pyramids. What makes you think that they didn't have a helping hand in building them ancient Egyptian pyramids back then? They're the children of Israel. They're the chosen people of God as well. You understand? We built them pyramids back then. The treasure cities, you understand? Like it says here in Pithom and Ramses. You could look up more information on that in your Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary to Pithom and Ramses too, on how we built the treasure cities, how we made cities that makes abundance of amount of money. You understand? For Egypt, and we don't get a dime for it. Oh man, they'll reward us with wine, and they'll reward us with some type of liquor and bread. You know what I'm saying? That's it. They don't give a damn about us. They didn't give a damn about us then. And the people that study them and look at them and look up to them on how to oppress the Israelites better, they're doing it today. And that's America. The white man running America. I'm going to read some more. All right. Let me see. Slakia. Verse 12. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. So the more that we were afflicted, the more that they came against us, the more they harmed us, man, we grew more. That's kind of what we see in today. What we see today is they've been oppressing us for 400 years, right? But we keep making babies. Our other brothers in the other tribes, they still making babies by the abundance. You know what I'm saying? They known for that. So that's why they scared to death and they want to throw them out the country abruptly, right? You understand? That's not going to work. You know what I'm saying? Y'all all playing into the Lord's hands. You know what I'm saying? America's going to be destroyed, like it's prophesied here in the Bible. You know what I mean? So I'm going to read on. It says, but the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew. And they were grieved because of the children of Israel. They were grieved because we were just growing. We were still going on just fine under their oppression. We were still growing. And it grieved the Egyptians because that was the way it was. It grieved them because it was so. I'm going to read verse 13. And the Egyptians made the children of Israel to serve with rigor. Now, the Egyptians, they made us to serve with rigor. They basically just having us, slave all day, all night, and putting hard tasks in front of us, so it could destroy us, so it can weaken us, so it could deplete us, so it can make us just grovel and, be better slaves for them. You know what I mean? This is what they do. This is what they like to do. You understand? I'm going to read some more. Verse 14, I believe. Yeah, verse 14. And they made their lives bitter with hard bondage in mortar and in brick and in all manner of service in the field. They made us work hard. They made us slave hard with hard bondage. You know what I'm saying? In mortar and in brick. You know what I'm saying? And in all manner of service in the field. All their service wherein they made them serve was with rigor. So every manner of work we did was with rigor. You understand? Hard, crucial work. Hard, crucial servitude. You know what I mean? This is what they did to us. And that sounds like slavery to me. This is the this is what America get everything from. Ancient Egypt is America. They want to enslave the children of Israel again, and this is what they're doing now. The difference between now though and then is the time for slavery now is up. We done served our time. This is not the time for us to be slaves. The time now is for us to really wake up to the knowledge of the truth. It's to wake up to the knowledge of the truth and realize that now is not the time for us to be slaves anymore. It's time for us to, really come together and put some things together. And where do we do that at? In the UPK. Come up in here, join the ranks in the UPK so we could join together, in one body under one banner. You understand? To raise up Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians that are, going through hell here in America and scattered abroad. All right. I'm going to read verse 15. And the king of Egypt spake to the Hebrew midwives, of which the name of the one was Shifra, and the name of the other Pua. Verse 16. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Now, this is the mindset of Pharaoh. Pharaoh, man, he just wanted us to he wanted our babies to be unalive. This is abortion. He wanted to abort all our babies. You know what I mean? He wanted us to abort it. He didn't want us to he didn't want us to live. He didn't want us to, thrive. Because that's what you do when you're trying to destroy a nation. When you're destroying a nation and you really trying to really make them weak, you target the men. You don't target any of the women. You don't target the women because they can't reproduce. You know what I'm saying? The men, the men carry the seed. The men carry the seed and they carry what they carry what's the seed, which is responsible for carrying on the nation, because you are what your father is. So every time a nation is trying to destroy another nation, they always target the men. You know what I mean? And that's what this Pharaoh did just now. Pharaoh, he came to the midwives and talking to them like, man, listen, all right, if it's a man child out of the Hebrews, out of the Israelites, if it's a man child, man, then just kill him. But if it's a daughter, if it's a woman child, you know what I'm saying? Now she can live. You know what I mean? This is the process, the mind, the thought process of the Pharaoh. All right. We'll get some more. and how disgusting of him to do that too. How disgusting of that Pharaoh to just want our babies unalive like that. Just like how it's so disgusting our sisters are going out and um having these abortions, allowing an oppressor to snatch your baby out the womb and kill him. You know what I mean? No, you know better than him. You know better than him with that garbage, man. You're gonna allow a devil to come and snatch a baby out your womb and unalive him, man. That's evil. That's wicked right there. Like, how evil can you be? How unrighteous and how off can you be? You know what I mean? Just to unalive your baby just because what we are being taught the lie of if we do that, we'll have better opportunities here in America. America is the richest country on earth. Let that sink in. You know what I'm saying? America is the richest country on the earth, the most powerful country on the earth. So why would we have to rely on a clandestine organization, Planned Parenthood, to offer our sisters a better life, to offer the black household a better life? You know what I'm saying? Without a baby. It's nonsense. It's complete nonsense. You understand? Have them babies, man. Have them babies. Them babies deserve to live. Nobody told nobody told you to go ahead and sleep with the wrong man. Nobody told you to pick that wrong brother. Nobody told you to do that. You keep them goddamn legs shut and we won't have no problem with aborting our babies, man. You keep them damn legs shut, you wouldn't have to worry about how you're gonna have or how your life is ruined and everything like that, because you want to be a whore and you want to go ahead and open your legs up to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. You understand? You gotta close them damn legs of yours. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I mean, you wouldn't have to resort to aborting your babies. Close them goddamn legs and we could get rid of Planned Parenthood. That's what the black woman, Hispanic woman need to hear and understand. You know what I mean? If you close them damn legs, we'll be better off. All right. Now, but this is what the Pharaoh, well, this is what Salaka, the king of Egypt, Pharaoh at the time, had our sisters doing. Told our sisters was like the midwives for the Hebrews he told them to do. All right. He told them to kill our babies, to kill our young men, to abort our babies. All right. All right. I'm gonna read verse 16. And he said, when ye do the office of a midwife to the Hebrew women and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then ye shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. Verse 7. But the midwives feared God and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive. Verse 18. So before I do that, so yeah, the midwives they feared the Most High. They understood that, you know what I mean, we can't just kill these Hebrew children. We can't just kill these Hebrew children because you know what I mean, we don't want that wrath from the Most High behind that. You know what I mean? All right. Let's see some more. But the midwives feared God and did not as the king of Egypt commanded them, but saved the men children alive. Verse 18. And the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said unto them, why have ye done this thing, and have saved the men children alive? And verse 19. And so now Pharaoh is asking, he's like, man, why haven't you do as I asked you, as I told you to do? Why haven't you did as I commanded you to do? I commanded you to just kill the men children of the Hebrews. I told you to do that. Why didn't you do it? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't you do it? Now, this is their response. Verse 19. And the midwives said unto Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not as the Egyptian women, for they are lively and are delivered ere the midwives come in unto them. Verse 20. Now he's saying, man, the Hebrew women are different. They're lively. They're not like that, man. So they didn't do it. They didn't do it. We're different. And that goes to show our sisters out here, like, it's in your nature to want to have them babies. What you have right now is a strong demon on you right now to make you think like, nah, having this baby is going to ruin my life. Having this baby is going to cause nothing but havoc in my life, because I'm not going to be able to afford this. I'm not going to be able to afford that. I'm not going to be able to pay my bills because my money got to go to this baby now. That's all a goddamn lie. All right. The reason why it's even hard for us to function here in America is because the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. He cuts off everything from us, and it's a lot. He cuts off everything from us. He cuts off everything from us and says it's our fault because we're not doing enough. Says it's our fault because we're lazy. Our fault because we're shiftless, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? We're some lazy bums or whatever, right? Now, the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of, because he can help us. He can help us. He can give us $10 million and it won't hurt his economy. It won't hurt his economy at all. His economy will stand still. It will still stand because he's the most powerful. He got the most powerful country on the planet right now. Now, him doing what he's doing now is just him being a selfish bastard that wants to keep everything to himself. He wants to gobble up everything on the planet and not help us. You understand? The Most High sees that now, and he's gonna make sure these oppressors answer for what they've been doing. I mean, for 400 years here in America. I'm gonna read on. All right, verse 19. Okay, verse 20. Therefore, God dealt with them. God dealt with the midwives, and the people multiplied and waxed very mighty. So we, you know what I mean, we grown great because of what they did. Because of what the midwives did. They let us go. They dealt with us, you know what I mean? We grown, you know what I mean? We did the exact opposite of what Pharaoh wanted to happen. He wanted us to really be done. But it didn't happen that way. All right, verse 21. And it came to pass, because the midwives feared God, that he made them houses. Verse 22. And Pharaoh charged all his people, saying, every son that is born ye shall cast into the river, and every daughter ye shall save alive. Then he went even further into it and said, you know what? All the Hebrew sons that get born, throw them into the river. Throw them into the damn river. Shalom. Throw them into the river. And that's like, you know what I'm saying? America, these oppressors here in America, they thrown us into lakes and rivers and all that too. They thrown us overboard in the oceans. They thrown us overboard in oceans in the transatlantic slave trade. They made the conditions so bad for us during the transatlantic slave trade that on them ships, we were suffering so terribly. We took it upon ourselves to jump overboard on them ships and commit suicide because of the poor condition that they left us in, because of the lack of care that they have for us, because of the hatred they have for us. You know what I mean? I'm gonna read some more. Just hold on a second. Bear with me. So yeah, they throwing us into the rivers. You know what I mean? The oppressors, they throwing us in the lakes and everything like that too. Like we was called alligator bait at one point. We were alligator bait. We can't forget that. We were alligator bait. And this oppressor, he thinks it's a joke. He doesn't think anything of it. They actually celebrate on times like that. Whenever we were lynched or whatever like that, it was like a celebration. It was like a family reunion, if you will, damn near, with these oppressors, man. Now that's how they look at us, and the Egyptians did the same thing. They did the same thing. Goes to show you who America looks after on how to treat the slaves, how to treat blacks and Hispanics and Native American here in America. All right. Let me see. So this is so basically that's basically the whole gist of how they treat us and how they look at us here in America. How they take what they took what they did to us in ancient Egypt and how they take that and do that to us today. You understand? So from there, man, I'm gonna get Job 9:24. It's the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The earth is given unto the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. There's a lot to unpack in that verse right there. So it's saying, like, you know what I mean? The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who's ruling America today? Who's ruling the entire planet right now? Who's ruling right now? The oppressor, the Edomites. They are the devil the Bible speaks of. And it says right here the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. It's given into the hands of the wicked. Whoever's ruling right now, man, he is the wicked. He is the evil one on the planet. He is the devil the Bible speaks of. You know what I mean? And why did he get this? Like, how did he get that position? He got this position because we chose to disobey our God. We chose to disobey the Most High God that controls life and death. You know what I'm saying? That brought us out of ancient Egypt. The one that slaughtered the ancient Egyptians because of what they did to us and how their treatment towards us, because of them throwing our babies in the lakes, in the rivers and all that. You understand? That's the same God that did that to them. We chose to disobey. We chose to disobey him. You know what I mean? Even though he did all that for us in the past, you know what I mean? We chose to disobey him and chose to disrespect his word by choosing to do otherwise, based off of what he was telling us to do. We didn't really hearken to what he said. You know what I mean? We chose to eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. We chose to sleep with other nations. We chose to sleep with you know what I mean, other nations. We chose to be sodomites when the Most High said for us to not be sodomites. We did all these things. We disrespected the Most High, man, by going against his word. You understand? That's what we did. So I'm gonna read that again. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. What is that talking about? It's talking about how he covereth the faces of, you know what I mean, or, you know what I mean, Christ, Job, the rest of the prophets in the Bible, the Most High. You understand? Like, he whitewashed all these images and made them white during the Renaissance era, the Renaissance period. This is like after the dark ages have been done away with. This is when the Renaissance era took place. The white people came out of the caves and they took over Europe. They took over Europe and they basically just whitewashed all the paintings of profound images of black people, that was important and notable at the time, and even today. Christ, the most, one of the most important ones, the most high God, the most important one, covered up the faces of the judges thereof. They covereth up all the prophets' faces, whitewashing all the prophets' faces. You understand? And making Moses white, paintings of Moses being white, and this, that, and the other. If you look in the book called Russian Icons, you get the book called Russian Icons, man. In that book it shows how the Edomites, they whitewashed all these pictures. It shows paintings. It shows pictures of an Edomite, of an oppressor, painting another picture, right? Painting another picture of repainting the picture of a black man from another portrait. Making them white. This is what they did. This is history. You understand? They know who the prophets are. They know who the chosen people of God are. They know who, what relationships like. They know what family Christ came out of, and he came out of the lost 12 tribes of Israel, tribe of Judah specifically. Black man from the tribe of Judah. You know what I mean? And so that's what this scripture right here is speaking about right here, right? It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. He covered the faces of the judges thereof because we were whitewashed. And we even today, we even think that Christ, some of us that's still in the Christian church, our brothers and sisters in the Christian church, they don't know no better. They up in there praying to a white God. They up in there praying to an oppressor God and oppressor Jesus. They looking up to, thinking he's an oppressor and thinking that he's the slave master and thinking he looks like the slave master. And that is not so. What's so is that Christ is a black man from the tribe of Judah. And it's evident in the Bible. We can get that. It's evident right here. I can get, since we in the book, let's get Job. You know what I mean? Let's get the book of Job real quick. All right, because leave it up to these oppressors, right? We're gonna end up believing that these other nations, are God or prophets. We're gonna end up believing that there were prophets coming out of the Arabs. We're gonna believe that there were prophets coming out of think that there were prophets that came out of the oppressors. You understand? When there was only one nation that that's ordained to be prophets, and that's the nation of Israel, and they are the children of God, which are the blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. All right, since we're in the book, let's just get it real fast. It's the book of Job, chapter 30 and 30. Now we're about to get the skin color of Job. This is what Job looked like, right? This is Job 30 and 30. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat. So this is Job saying his skin is black. His skin is black. He's black. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about skin, you know what I mean? And his skin is black. That's what Job is saying. And there's more to it than that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get Christ next. Get Christ. And everybody should know, if you didn't know, if you've been learning from your Christian preacher for your whole life, you wouldn't know that Christ, you know what I mean, in the Bible is depicting him being a black man. All right. So I'm gonna get it real quick. I mean, last couple of scriptures before I end the class off. All right. It's the book of Revelations, verse 1. This is the book of Revelations, verse 1, so like in chapter 1. All right. And it says this: the revelation of Yahweh Mashiach, the power gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. Now, the word revelation means to reveal. The word revelation means to reveal. And this book is about to reveal something to people that are reading, to people that have an ear in order to let them hear. You understand? I'm gonna go up to verse 13 real fast. All right. It says, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot. Now, the Son of Man is Christ. All right. The Son of Man is Christ. And it says, if I read on, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. All right. So Christ, he had a garment clothed down to the foot. All right. That goes all the way down to the foot. And he had a girdle on. He had a girdle on to keep his stomach in, his midsection in. Now, around this time, this is what men wore to keep your midsection in when you go on a war, like swinging a sword. You understand? You know what I mean? Men wore this around this time. All right. It's basically armor. I'm gonna read verse 14. And his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire. Now, his head and his hairs were white like wool. White being the color, wool being the texture. Now, his hairs were white and woolly. He had a full head of white, woolly hair. The only people that had woolly hair on this earth is the black man and Hispanic man. You understand? And she was like what I got, basically. It was to see what I got going on. You know what I mean? I got my wool out today. You know what I mean? Christ had a full head of woolly hair. Okay, and it said his eyes like a flame of fire. Black men, we like to take a drink. You understand? We like taking a drink. You know what I mean? And that's just how we get down. You know what I'm saying? When we drink wine or whatever, right? We take a strong drink. Our eyes get red. All right. So I'm gonna read verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. So it says his feet were like unto burned brass, as if they burned in a furnace. Now, if you take anything and burn it in a furnace, it's going to turn black. It's going to turn into a dark color. Now, Christ was, you take a penny and throw it in. You take a penny, you got yourself some brass. You know what I mean? Something similar to brass. You throw that in a furnace, that's going to turn dark brown. That's going to turn black. You understand? Christ was a black man. He was a black man, all right? And this is what the Bible says. And it's not only here. It's in many books. It's in the book of Daniel. You know what I mean? It's in the book of Daniel. It's everywhere. It's every damn where, all right? So I'm gonna get that real quick. I'm gonna get Daniel. Oh shit. Let me see if I can get that real quick. Before I do that. Go ahead. I'm gonna go it's the book of Hebrews chapter 7 verse 14. For it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah. This is what the Bible says right here. Talking about talking about Christ. Christ, he springs out of the tribe of Judah. All right. And your pastor will never go here. Your pastor will never go here and explain to his congregation that Christ comes out of the tribe of Judah. You understand? He will never do that. And let's get some more on that topic right here. This is the last scripture, right? And I'm going to click the class. Until next time, all right? Y'all bear with me for a second, Israel. All right. It's the book of Daniel, chapter. Yeah, this is it. This is the book of Daniel, chapter 10, verse 7. Verse, let me see. Salaki, verse 5. Then I lifted up mine eyes. Now, this is Daniel looking up into the heavens, right? And he says this, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen. So Christ was clothed in linen, right? He's clothed in linen. It's a garment. All right, I'm going to read on. Whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz. Now, his loins was girded with Uphaz. You know what I'm saying? He had a golden girdle, you know what I mean, of the it's the gold of Uphaz. It's like an expensive gold at that time. It was an expensive gold. All right. So it wasn't just any pure gold. It was the gold of Uphaz. All right. Verse 6. His body also was like the beryl. So beryl meaning green. He had a green garment on, right? And his face as the appearance of lightning. So his face is like the appearance of lightning. Meaning he had a hardcore face. He wasn't that sissy that you look up to in the Christian church that the Christians have erected in the Christian church. The Christians have Caesar Borgia up in their churches, man. You know what I'm saying? They have everybody looking up to that like that's some God and that's something special. When Christ, he had a face like lightning. He had a face that, you know what I mean, like it says right here, and his face as the appearance of lightning. He had a hardcore face. He wasn't no sissy. He wasn't no punk. And he's not coming back for hugs and kisses either. He's coming to do damage on this earth for what's been done to his brothers, what's been done to his sisters, what's been done, you know what I mean, to us here in America. You know what I mean? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. He's not gonna come back for no hugs and kisses. And he ain't no soft pool boy, you know what I'm saying? Let's read some more. And his eyes as lamps of fire. Like it said in Revelations. You know what I'm saying? The redness of his eyes. You know what I mean? All right. And the wine that he drinks, you know what I mean? His eyes turning red after drinking wine. And, you know what I mean? The scriptures also say his eyes will be red with wine. All right. And this, I'm going to read on. Well, Salaki. And his arms and his feet, like in color. So it's even mentioning color right here, all right? To polish brass. Christ is a black man. He's not no white boy, man. He's not no oppressor, man. He's a black man. It's saying right here that his feet, and his feet, like in color to polished brass. You know what I'm saying? That sounds very familiar, like to where it says in Revelations, man, like his feet was like on the burned brass as it's been burned in a furnace. And also it says right here in his voice and the voice of his words, like the voice of a multitude. Now his voice is like, you know, he's a loud, strong voice. He's not no soft sissy like Caesar Borgia, like that white Jesus that everybody got hang up in their crib, hang up in the church. like everybody's worshiping in their homes. In the churches, make a goddamn idol unto him in the church and worshiping him as God. Christ is a black man. And with that, I'm ending the class off right there. All right. Go over this some more next class. With that, preaching officer of 500 Mathamiot out of I.S.U.P.K. started 1 West. It's 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General YAHANNA. We've been teaching the truth about the Bible since 1969, about how blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the real Israelites and the real Jews of the Bible. And with that, I'm gonna say shalom. See y'all next Tuesday here. You in library for the Brotherhood class. All right, shalom.